Right, if you remember, we were working on the little green barn sign. So far we've taken out the screws, we've cleaned it all up, we've sanded it, made it really nice and smooth. So the next thing we're going to do is laser the design onto it. Okay, we sent 5 different designs off to the client and they've chose the one that they liked. And what we're going to do now is show you how we get the words onto the wood. I will show you how to do all the computer interneting bit another time, but today I'm just going to really focus on the machine. Behind me is the marvellous laser cutter. It's fantastic. Hello! Right, now's the exciting part. We drew out to scale 5 different drawings for the lady to choose from, and she chose number 3. So what we've done is exported number 3 as a laserable file into the program that runs the marvellous laser cutter. Okay. Now we will go into much more detail of how this happens. We use CorelDRAW for our drawing, and I can show you all the lovely things it can do in another video. But for today, we're really going to focus on the lasering. And what we have to do is tell the machine how fast to go and how much power to use. So we're going to go quite deep into this one. So we're going to have a speed of 500 and a power of 100. And then the outside, we're going to just do a cut line. So I'm just going to do an outline so I know where to put the board on the machine. So I'm just going to send it now, and you'll probably hear a little beep. Yay, they're friends now. Sometimes they're not friends and you have to do it a few times. So what I've done now is sent the information to the laser cutter, and I'm just going to get it now to trace an outline of the sign so I know where to place it on the machine. Okay, so I normally do a test just to see if it's roughly in the right place. That looks very good. This little tool is one of the most important things in the workshop. It's 41mm square, and the machine, 2 laser beams come out and they cross over at 41mm, and that's our optimum focal point. So we have to use this machine to make sure the laser beam is the right height from the work. So I'll just put that on there. Yep, that's all good. And now I'm going to send it. Off we go. So now the laser cutter is drawing a line which represents the rectangular outline of the sign. And this gives us a place where we can, there we go, put the sign there. Fantastic. So the next thing I'm going to do is place the wood onto the bed of the machine. Because this wood's a bit thicker, I'm going to have to lower the bed so it can fit in. So I'm just going to make the bed go down a little bit. And then put it in place. There we go, that looks good. And then again, I'm going to use my little tool to make sure it's the right height. Oh, not a bad guess. Let's have a look there. Let's go up a little bit. Good stuff. Right, now I'm going to send the internal part of the design. So I'm clicking a different part now. That's looking very good. Now this time I'm actually going to put the fan on, so it will be a little bit noisy, and we'll probably speed it up a bit just to up it along. So you can see how this is engraved. We do it nice and deep. It's pine, so this is how pine wood will go. Okay, that was at half speed. So what we're going to do now to make this lettering stand out is fill it with paint and then seal it, ready for delivery. Okay, so what we're going to do now is paint the sign in. So for this I've got a little tub of water, I've got acrylic paint and some light cloths, some light rags and a bit of fleece to wipe away. So I'm just going to apply the paint into the bits that have been engraved, let it dry a little bit and wipe it, and then I'm going to sand any excess paint off. This will make the lettering really stand out and look really good. if we'd used a different wood, a hardwood, then actually we wouldn't have to do this painting part, because hardwoods turn a nice colour when you engrave them, but because the lady wanted pine, then actually, as you can see, when we engraved it, it doesn't really stand out very much. So by doing this, it will make the letters sing. That's what we want. We want people to see where they are. Maybe another video I'll show you how different woods engrave, and you can see they're very vastly different. I guess the good thing about pine is that you, because it's a softwood, when you engrave it goes really deep, which is nice, which is what you need when you're doing this. You want like a little crevice for the paint to sit into. You should always engrave as well with the grain of the wood. That's really important. The machines will give you a much better effect if you do that. Then just make sure you go in all the little nooks and crannies. Make sure the surfaces are all covered. And there we go. So when you've done that bit, it will look like this. Hello, welcome back. Right then, this sign, this is the final part. So here's the little green barn sign. So far we've took the screws out, we've cleaned it up, it's been on a laser cutter, we've engraved it, we've infilled that with paint, and today I'm going to finish it off. So what we're going to do next is sand the front of it, so sand all this excess paint off that's around the sign. If I show you there, look, it looks a bit messy at the moment. And then to finish off, we're just going to oil it. Okay, so let's get off to the sander. I've got my goggles on, and then I just need my protective ear holes. They're fighting with me at the moment. There we go. Right, I just put the fan on, and then we're all ready for action. Okay, now, so if I just use a paintbrush and brush that out, make sure it's dry, obviously. Okay, so that's what we've got now. That looks much better. But now we just need to sort these edges out. So I'm just going to pop around the edges and make them look nice and decorative. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Sand by hand. Hello, so all the sanding is now been done. So if we look at the sign, it's nice and clean and crisp. The edges, I've just slightly pobbed them. I've just gone in with the machine a little bit to give it a little bit of texture. And then to finish off, I've just sanded it along the grain by hand, and it feels super smooth like a baby's bum now. So the last step of the process is to seal the sign. So just to remind you, at the beginning, this is what we look like. Okay, so we've gone from this one to this one, so that's a great little bit of recycling. And as you can see, that's a lot clearer. I'm going to be using this product. It's an exterior wood protector. The beauty of this, it will stay nice and clear, so it won't really alter the colour of the wood too much. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple of coats, so that, because if we leave it like this, it will weather like this one, it will go all grey again. Okay, alright, so I've got my external wood protector, clear version. Now, if this sign was wet, you would have to wait actually 24 hours before it's dry before you do this. So just make sure your wood is nice and dry and it's clear, and all the dust and anything like that is all off of it. It's nice and smooth. You can use this product with a roller or a paintbrush. I prefer to use a paintbrush. I've got some card underneath and I've just raised it up a little bit. So you want a nice coat, but you don't want it dripping in paint. just nice and evenly brush it on. Just make sure you're getting all the nooks and crannies. If you see it sort of bubbling up, it doesn't matter, it all soaks in. First time I used it I thought, oh no, that doesn't look good, and then once it all soaked in, it looked fine. You actually want this to dry for at least 2 hours and then just test it, and then you can actually reapply. I normally wait a bit longer than that actually. I like to sort of wait a day really, just to be sure. And you're looking at maybe 3 coats for something like this. Okay, so take your time with it, don't rush it. It's quite tempting when you're near the end of a project just to sort of finish it off, but if you take your time with it, it's much better. Make sure you got all your edges, and just like we did before with the oil, if you've watched the video in oil on your board, if you look at it, if you get down low and have a look, you can see if there's any bits that aren't shiny, then you've missed them. So just get yourself down nice and low and just check all the different edges are all a-okay. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Again, go with the grain, just have your brush marks going all in the same direction. That'll just make it really good. I'm just going to just double check this edge here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now I'll leave that for a couple of hours to soak in, and then we'll repeat the process. Right, this is the final part of the sign. So, just to remind you, this is what the lady's sign looked like when she brought it to us. And ta-da! This is what it looks like now. It's had 3 coats of the exterior protector, and between each layer we've let it dry and then just give it a very light sand down. So this is now ready for delivery. Hope she likes it. Thanks for watching. Yes.